Hello, welcome. My name is Ilvi Neokikcin. I'm a photographer from the Netherlands, and currently I am standing in the Africa Museum in the beautiful show Through the Lens of. Let me switch the lens to the other side so you can properly see. There we go. So this is the show Through the Lens of, and welcome today to the Talking Photography, this Instagram Live. This is the third week that I'll be interviewing a photographer about their series that is in this beautiful exhibition. And we'll be doing this for 5 weeks in a row. So this series, Through the Lens of, is in the Africa Museum near Nijmegen, the Netherlands. And it consists of the works of 17 visual storytellers from different African countries. And all the works that are selected here, I wish you could see it in real life, it's really beautiful. Look, it's really big too. And all the works are selected from the African Photojournalism Database, which is an initiative from World Press Photo and Everyday Africa. And the exhibition itself is a collaboration between the Africa Museum and World Press Photo. So let me move to the series, which we'll be talking about today. There we see. It's quite difficult to walk and to show the work at the same time. There we are. This is the series called Casablanca, not the movie. Let me just put this tripod down so you can see these properly. There we go. There. Let me move away so you can see this shot properly. This series, Casablanca, not the movie, is shot by Yoriyas Yassine Alaoui. And I'm going to try to invite him now to see if he will join us. Where are you? Yoriyas. Just invited him. So he'll be talking to us about this series and he will explain everything. There he is. Here, I was showing your work. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You probably haven't seen this yet either, so I'm gonna walk past it slowly so you can see it as well. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful exhibition.
Nice. Looks nice.
You like it?
Yeah, it looks very nice. I like
and there
the setting.
Goes
Actually,
corner.
that's the first time I see it in video. I saw it in picture, but not in video. So we can make a live tour.
I'm happy. Exactly, yeah. I'm happy you like it. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation. I'm very glad to be part of this talk. So
yeah, here we
go.
I'm really happy you're here so you can tell about the story. Just for everyone that's tuning in, please feel free to ask any questions to Yoriyas. We were struggling a bit with your name because you have a beautiful long name and Yoriyas is your first name, alias name. Can you explain a bit?
It's a nickname. It's a name coming from my dance career when I was doing breakdance. We used to do breakdance and each dancer has a nickname. So it's a combination between my name Yassine, the first three, a character of a video game. So
you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's a mix between the two. Okay, so I guess the
And
connection.
a what? Sorry, a video. Yeah, the connection is. Yeah, but it's breaking up sometimes. Do you think there's a way to improve it a little bit? Are you on Wi-Fi? Probably. It's breaking up. Okay, let's wait and see if he gets back to a better connection. No, not yet. I think he's really stuck now, but I think he was trying to move closer to a better connection. So let's see. We might have to restart or I have to maybe re-invite him. Oh yeah, now he's not in here anymore. Okay, let me try. I'm gonna invite him again. There we go. Yoriyas. Okay. So it says waiting for Yoriyas. So I hope in the meantime that he moves. Yeah. There you go, to a better place.
It's better connection now, or what do you think?
I think so. You are a bit choppy sometimes, but I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, yeah.
So what we always do in this series, let me try to start there before the connection breaks, is that we always ask the photographer what they did today. So can you share with us what your day looked like today? Were you photographing or not at all?
It's funny. Today I made my passport. Actually, it's full. My passport is full, and actually I have a project with the Photo Institute. I'm invited there for art residency in Lille, in France. And
Oh, beautiful.
yeah. And I just found out my passport it's expired and full in the same time. So today
Oh,
I went to not to take pictures, but to ask some other people to take picture of me. So I made
while
the
standing in line, is
yeah.
it like are you in a long line waiting for passports like this or not at all?
No. It's I just did the process. So I went to the photograph to take my portrait, actually, a special portrait
I see.
for photograph. And then you have all this document, and you go for you go to put it in the la mairie. I don't know. It's a government place to get your
Yeah,
passport.
the government.
But it was easy.
I
It was
see. So when
quite easy. Yeah.
and when will you be going to France, to Lille?
So normally I'm invited to do the residency in the end of May. In the end of May, if the borders are
Okay.
open, normally I have to go in this time. It's amazing space. It's called Photo Institute in Lille, and I just found out it's new one, and they make very great projects. And I will do projects with the people doing parkour. If you
Oh,
know these people
nice.
who's
Oh,
jumping.
wow. Yeah.
So I will do a work with them to take picture of them in this performance with the pictures and the parkour in the open space. So
And will you
I love.
will you also be jumping? Will you also be jumping the rooftops, or you'll be safely
Uh,
on the ground?
Actually, I'm coming back to my practice, to my breakdance practice during Ramadan, because I like to practice like 2 hours before we break the fast. And since Ramadan starts, I come back to practice to prove my physical condition, because I had a very good and not good project. It's a project to visit houses in Morocco and be a
Uh-huh.
guest, to show the art
Oh,
art
beautiful.
of art. How you say art of accueil. How you can guest
Hospitality? No.
yeah, hospitality, art of hospitality of
Okay.
Morocco. And I'm traveling
Beautiful.
since 3 months. I travel mainly 30 city, and each time I have to eat so much. You see good food and they ask you to eat. So I really eat so much very good food. Now I get a little bit yeah, a little bit more weight. So I try to
So
cut weight now. Yeah.
so now you are trying to do to get back to the breakdancing to lose the weight again. But can you tell a little bit about how you went from, was breakdancing a professional career, or how did you move to photography? Were you always already a photographer, or how did this come about?
Yeah, actually, I study mathematics, but in parallel, I was doing breakdance as a hobby. It was my favorite hobby, but it turned out to be a profession, because we made a dance crew, which become Moroccan champion, and then it's become African champion, and
Wow,
then we start to compete in worldwide champions. So I
amazing. So
travel.
you were like
Yeah,
a top of the
yeah,
African
yeah.
continent breakdancer. That's,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you're breaking a
Actually,
leg,
we
but
had
that's really
chance to
cool.
be like, okay, yeah, we had chance to be like one of the first African and Arabic dance crew to be inside the breaking. So that's give me chance to travel, to meet people, to understand more culture, and photography came later. I don't know if you can hear me because the connection still it's not good.
I can hear you. I'm just talking a little bit less.
I'm just worried about.
I could actually quite hear you quite okay. Yeah, now you're back. You're back.
Yeah. Okay. So let me try if it's possible.
Are you trying to move?
Connection.
Move anywhere you think that the connection is better.
Because connection is super bad here. So.
And if anyone has any questions already, could be, then let us know in the comment section.
I jump to this place. Maybe it will be less, but I need.
Yeah, this seems to be better.
Yeah, it seems to be better. Okay. Let me just find something to put.
Put the phone on. Okay, I think this is a bit better.
I'm not sure. Let's try.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's better?
I think you have... Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the connection is better now. Yep. Sorry, guys. We're back with a better connection now.
Okay, great.
So you were explaining, how did you go from breakdancing then into photography? So you were taking pictures then as well? But did you quit breakdancing at a certain stage, or?
Yeah, I actually it's quite funny. My first time I took pictures, it was during my travel, but not to document my travel, but to remember the way from the hotel to the place of the event, because I had a bad memory and I was traveling in cities which I don't know around the world. So I always had small camera with me. It was no GPS, so I was working with the small camera and photographing the street to remember the way back home. And it turned out that this camera became a camera to document my travel. And after how we can say, after maybe 10 years of traveling and taking picture of travel, I get injured to my knee, and then I had to stop dancing.
Oh.
And actually it was so sad. I feel very sad at this time, because I sit home without practicing, because I used to practice like 5 hours per day, and then I find myself not doing so much practice. And then I use the same camera which I use in my travel, and I just walk in the streets of Casablanca without having any idea, just take pictures of everything I like and the things which come to my way. I guess I was doing this for maybe 3 months or 6 months, just like this, without knowing I'm doing. Yeah.
And in that time, in those 3 to 6 months, were you calling yourself a breakdancer or a photographer? Like, how did you transition into that in those weeks, months?
I didn't call myself breakdancer. I didn't call myself photographer. I just want to do something. I don't want to. I couldn't practice, but I do something, and I feel that I had a need to just use the camera. I don't know why. Maybe because I already had this connection with my camera, and I guess after a while I showed some pictures to one guy, and he got surprised. He said, "Which school you are coming from? Which school of photography you are coming from?" And I said I'm not. I never.
You really liked your work already.
Yeah. It was the teacher of. It was the teacher art school. I was teaching dance, and we were sitting in the same.
I see.
We were sitting in the same place to explain some people coming to the school about our specialty. And there was nobody coming, and I was showing him the pictures, because he's teacher of photographer. So I show him, and then he asked me this question.
So he knows
Which school you are studying? I didn't study. And then he said,
Mm-hmm.
you are doing this composition here, you are doing this rule here, and this. And I was like, no. And then he said, you should really go into photography. And what I did, I start to go to his class sometimes.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
teach dance in the same time I go to his class, and I start to learn a little bit about what he's teaching. It was more basic stuff. Yeah, I guess
And
I
is
went
this
to his
also,
yeah.
is the images that I'm showing now, is that the pictures you took in that time? The
Uh,
series? Can you explain a little bit about the series?
yeah. So actually, it took me 1 year to get my first picture, which in the city. So let's say I start taking picture in 2013.
Uh-huh.
And after 1 year, I got one picture which the series starts with. You know, it's not there, but this one was in 2015. So the most of this picture between 2015 and 2017, I guess. I guess.
And can you explain why is it called Casablanca, not the movie? Because that's the series name, right?
Yeah. Actually, everything is connected with my travel and dance, because when I was a breakdancer, I traveled the world, and people ask me where I'm from. When I said I'm from Casablanca, directly they said, Casablanca, the movie, very
Ah.
romantic, blah, blah, blah. And I always said, I'm coming from Casablanca, not the movie. And even the movie was shot in Hollywood, not even in Morocco. And
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah. And when each time I was explaining this in my travel, and when I start to take pictures, I said, wait, maybe this is the way to show Casablanca as I see it, you know, to don't explain it like with the verbally when I meet people, but to
Mm-hmm.
just show them pictures. And I guess also this motivates me to go into photography. And I guess
So do you feel Casablanca is sometimes portrayed in a cliché way, or is that something you wanted to change somehow?
yeah, I think that it was a big cliche about the city, because it's the movie. I mean, it's a huge production which is make a big communication about the city, which is wasn't true. You know, it was just like a decor from the cinema, which the show. And also Casablanca, it was not photographed so much. Like I speak about documentation, like documentary work. It was when I Google, actually, when I start my project, I Googled Casablanca, and I found that there is the movie again, the big mosque of Casablanca, and some touristic side of the city, or the crime side of the city. There is
So
no.
there's no in between, not the real
Yes.
story that's being told. Wait, there's some questions
Yeah.
coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. One question is coming from Hisham Serhani.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, how do you keep motivated while photographing? Because I know you've photographed a lot of different stories. Everyone who's listening, please check out his website as well, because there's a lot of beautiful different series. And how do you keep motivated? And after you answer that question, we're actually going to look at two of your favorite images. Would be great if you could describe them. But yeah,
Okay.
let's first do the question.
Okay, so the first question, how I keep the motivation. I guess yeah, it's difficult question, because it's how to keep motivation in your own city. That's even more difficult, because you have the routine. But I guess from my perspective, I had very good connection with the people in the street. I spend so much time in the street. You know, I know like now the places which I work in Casablanca, I almost know everyone. Like the guy who's selling in the streets, the people who sit in the cafe. You know, I speak with many people. I hear many stories, and all these stories and the people I meet, they inspire me to keep taking pictures and to tell this things, and also this movement, because I like to observe this choreographic movement, because for me, like photography, it's like choreography, and with my camera, I try to find the right angle to choreograph the people without they know that they are in the pictures. You know,
I think this is such an amazing example of that.
yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
almost
So,
like
this,
like a choreography.
exactly, it's like a choreography, and even like I remember that one art critic, it's called Rachal. He when he saw this picture, he said it could be like a partition of musical note. If you do it like
You're
this,
right. Yes, you're right.
you can use the note
You
and
could
do
play
it.
this
Yeah,
picture
but
like this.
in this picture, you know, in this picture, I also play with the kid. You know, I didn't like just go take picture and go, but I was with them. I was close. I turn. I go. It's like I'm playing with them. You know, I change the angles. I try different angle, and then when I look behind me, I found one kid. He didn't want to play with them because he had his bike, his own game, and then I understood that I can do something with his bike. So I ran behind him, and I had this connection with the floor because I used to do dance with the floor and the floor, and I know this vision from the floor to up. You know, I remember it when I was dancing, and I directly put my camera on the floor, composed with the while of the kid to the kids playing there, and it gives this these pictures, which for me is still the story about the city because they are using some metal which is left over of a shop of the sheep. It was a sheep sacrifice, and
I see. Yeah.
and it's also tell the story of my story because you can see the perspective of the dancer and also the choreography side of it. So that's why I love
So
this
is
story.
this, and this is one of the pictures. I guess, well, it would be one of my favorites, but it is one of your favorites as well from this series. Can you name another one as well that you want to explain?
I mean
Should I show which ones are here?
the prior pictures. It's the picture which is how I can say it's forced me to go into photography because you know in Morocco it's difficult to live as a photographer. You know you don't have like magazines which they can take you can use you can book you for assignment or there are not so many galleries to sell the work.
No.
But I guess this picture when I did it, it was a
Wait, I'm
coincidence.
gonna move back.
It
Yeah.
was a coincidence because I was going after Ramadan to do the prayer of the Eid with my mom and my grandmother, and then I found this crowd using the street for prayer, and I was so surprised because I never see this before, and I find out that Ramadan it's moved from the winter to summer in 20 years. So it's my
Yes. Yeah.
my first time after 20 years Ramadan came to the summer, and there are many Moroccans around the world come to spend Ramadan in Morocco. That's why there is no place for the prayer, and I had always my camera in my pocket. I bring it. I took some pictures from my place. I looked at the pictures, but they don't represent what I see because the perspective of the camera wasn't good. And then I look left, right. I found a big building, the door open, and I just go into this building until the terrace. And the moment when I want to take the pictures from the terrace, I heard behind me a woman screaming, "Thief, thief!" She was thinking that I'm thief. I want to steal something. And I just turned to the woman. She was so shocked. I was so shocked also. And I said, "No, I'm not thief. I'm a friend of Said." I just improvised a name. And she said,
smart.
And she
Good
said,
thinking.
yeah. And she said, "Said from the second floor." I said, "Yes. I'm just waiting for him."
No way.
Yeah,
That's really smart. That's so quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just said, I'm just waiting for Said to came here, and then we will go down to the prayer. And she said, "Look, my son. Look, my." She asked me like I'm her son. "Look, my son. Here there are many people stealing in the terrace. That's why I try to check. But you can say if you are a friend of Said." So what happened? I took many pictures. This place it represents only 1% of the whole scene. So I took many, like more than 200 pictures. And when I want to go down to the prayer, I find out that the woman broke the door, so you cannot cross. And it was another man gets blocked. And here I can say this is the magic of photography, because sometimes the great picture it's not coming directly. So the guy asked me to do the prayer from the terrace. So we went up. We want to do the prayer, and then the call of the prayer starts. Everybody stand up, and then when I look, I saw different picture. I bring again my camera. I took 2-3 pictures, 1, 2, 3. Put my camera, did the prayer. I went home. I checked all the 200 pictures. They are not good because people are hiding the carpet with the food. Only the last. But
when 3, they stand.
And then I got this picture, which became super now. Like I published in National Geography, like in 2000. I guess it was in 2015 or something like this. And I had many people ask me to buy it, you know. And I had also a museum in Qatar which want to buy this one.
Wow.
And
beautiful.
Why I said to you that it forced me to go into photography, because this picture was sold maybe 7 times the price which I bought my camera. And wow. I was like, wow, that's a good support. So
it is. That's a perfect support. Beautiful. So I see while we're talking, there was many questions coming in. We ran a bit out of time because of the connection struggles in the beginning. So we're a little bit over time. But the one question that came in is from Medo Yassine.
Okay.
And the question is, how do you choose the right camera for photography?
That's I guess the right camera is the camera which you have in the right moment. You can have the best camera, but you don't have amazing moments. You cannot do anything. But you can have only small camera, and then you have an amazing moment. You can catch it. And the proof is this picture of the prayer, because I took it with very small camera. Actually, my first prayer picture, it was a small camera in my pocket, and I took it. But if you go inside streets, you should have a disc camera which is discreet, which is don't click the streets, especially in Casablanca.
Oh, you're breaking up a bit.
Casablanca is changing the scene. You click.
That doesn't make a sound.
When you click with the camera, like it's people look at you, and then it changes the scene. So you have to have nervous. A camera which is not clicking, and also has the same view as your eye, because I like to have the same to calculate things with my eye before I have my camera. And in Casablanca, I don't shoot with the camera here. If you do this, forget, you cannot get anything. People are so suspicious.
Really? Because people start posing or running? Ah, suspicious.
Yeah, or
they start
or
shielding.
Yeah. So I shoot from here, like from my
from your chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Chest.
So like this.
And there's another one question coming in from Wendy. She asks, did your perspective on photography change since the pandemic?
Yeah, the pandemic, I guess it's a good experience. I always said it's good experience because it's teach us so many things, you know, and it makes us appreciate also things, you know. It's I mean, it's bad, but it's in the same time you start to appreciate things which before you didn't think about it, you know. And for me it's forced me also to work at home. And also I did an interesting work in a holiday place, because I got stuck in a holiday place. I went with my wife to do holiday, and we stuck in a holiday place. So we had pandemic blockage in
pandemic hotel.
Not a hotel, but it's
holiday.
A lovely house. Like the terrace is just front of the seaside, and the city is called Asila, and it makes me how you can say document like how a holiday place looks like in the pandemic, and also makes me come back to my old work, which I never see, and I start to forget my pictures which I did before. So all these things, I guess,
gave
it's for
you
me.
Some calmness to reflect, a reflective time.
Yeah.
If I understand you right,
Yeah, and appreciate things. Yeah, and I had one picture of 3 men sitting together in a bench, which can have only 2 people, but there are 3 old men sitting together. And this picture becomes super known after the pandemic because of this physical contact, on touching and discussion very close. I mean, it makes us appreciate also this physical contact which we miss now. Yeah.
Which we miss a lot. Yeah, I totally agree. Yoriyas, I wish we could speak the whole evening, and I see there's lots more questions coming in, but we ran out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. And if you could, please answer to the people either in a DM or just right here on the Instagram page.
I need to,
because it's endless.
Remember.
It's a lot. Yeah, exactly. You probably saw it coming in as well. I don't know if you can see that, but it's mostly fans, I would say. A lot of them are saying, my best photography, Moroccan, Yoriyas. I love you. Hello from Chile. Hello from Munich. So you have fans everywhere. Mm-hmm. But thanks so much for being here and for making the time to speak to us.
Yeah, thanks for you.
Sorry,
I want to say that I'm very happy to see like another way of showing Africa into the museum, because we are showing inside an African museum in Holland, and it's good to show another way of things. You know, when we in Europe or in other countries, when we think about Africa cultures with this old things, but it's good to see show some contemporary work as well.
New, fresh work.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
I totally agree. Thanks so much.
Okay,
and for everyone who listened today, please join us. Thanks, ciao. Please join us next week. Is it next week? Yeah, on the 29th, we'll be back with a session of Talking Photography, and that time it will be Etinosa Yvonne from Nigeria. So please tune in and make sure to follow Africa Museum on Instagram. Thanks, everyone, and thanks to you, Yoriyas.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.